Right, so this is what we're going to be looking at over the next couple of days. Can you talk us through this?
Oh, basically, so these are steps, like Dennis said. The reason they're not square is because they're not large enough to make square. We'll stand a profile that end and a profile that end, and we'll get the line down from top of wall, which Dennis's Bondec slab sits on. So any cuts will be on the bottom 3 courses, and then from there it's bonded out from that end, so we can joint it and Ross can paint it. So it's a finished product. So it sits 2 inches under the concrete.
Yep.
And it's 8mm trench mesh. So we've had 12mm rebar with trench mesh joined them together.
So there's your footing all done. Okay, so that's the step up footing that we did the other day. You can see that they just cut the brick to fit it and it goes up. John the brickie, and he's just about to do the second one that we did, and that'll lead up to the top, and they're just working off the brick line. Yeah, and running out. Yeah, I'm not necessarily precise players, I just think on-site talking. Yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeah, sometimes they die, I'm like, oh, better listen to that.
I'll pretend.
Yes, spot on, mate. And then on the top of this one, we'll do the wall size. Zach, can you get some more for us, please?
How many you want?
I'll rock the ball. Just as many as we've got. It's been about 2 runs. We'll pick up a few more, that's right. Oh, mate, stop on me. Sorry.
Came past on, what was it, Saturday? I got the electric bike. I took it down the highway. Yeah. As long as you've got while you're working, it's fine. Yeah. So this is how the area looks now after we've done the brick walls. And basically this is the formwork. So this is a leave-in formwork that we use. Bondex is what we were said to use. This is the same. And this has been set up by the concreter. So you can see what's going to happen. These here are expansion joints. So that what they do is they allow the concrete to expand. He's got his foam up against the wall so that it doesn't actually bond with the wall. Now he'll put some more rebar in there. He'll cut that up tomorrow, and this stays in place. So we don't move this stays in place. And what we do is we pour on top of it and finish the slab, and I'll show you that tomorrow. That's the end of it, and actually under it there is nothing. This allows him access and storage, and at the bottom you will see that's how your finish is going to look. You're going to have a little tin roof almost, and basically it just stops you having to fill all this in, build retaining walls and things like that. So it's a great little product, and we'll show you the finish tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to move the concrete down to the back. I'm just using a wheelbarrow to do this. The cement truck couldn't get any further in. We're going to move the concrete around. This is 45 MPa concrete. The standard is 25 or 24. The reason we're using this stronger is obviously because it's a suspended slab. Even though we've got Rio in it, we want to get as much strength out of that concrete as possible. So they'll just dump the concrete and they'll move it around to get it relatively even with the shovel and with the scraper. Do it as best they can by eye. And once they've done that, you'll see they'll get out the vibrator. On the left there you see me, I'm just taking out, there was a brick wall there, and we've got to get those bricks right down and under the concrete, at least 90 mils, because they're going to patch the concrete there as well. So now we've moved around with the scraper. You're going to see they're going to come down with the vibrator in a second, and there he goes. Now, the vibrating of concrete is to get rid of the air pockets, because obviously we don't want it to be like a honeycomb effect. You want to really vibrate it well, get that concrete paste going right through, covering everything, making sure that it stays nice and strong. So he's going to load up a spare wheelbarrow, and what that'll be is that'll be some spare concrete if he needs a little bit later, for the wall of which I'm taking out the bricks, and also if he needs a bit in the concrete slab. You'll notice he uses it a little bit later towards the end. So here he goes, he's going to start screeding close to the wall. He knows his levels, so what he's working on now is he's trying to set his level against the wall, and he'll use that as his reference point as he screeds back from the end. He's got the little screeder up the top, and you'll see he's pulling back. He's just setting it up, getting ready to go. He's using the concrete slab that already exists and the new screed that he's just done to get his levels. While he's doing that, Mik is just putting the concrete around the drain. You'll see that they vibrate that down, and then they start to trowel that off in a second. As he comes to the drain, he's just filling it in, making sure it's all level, that there's no honeycombing. Now he's just screeding back, and you'll notice that there's a slight fall towards the drain. That's because we want the water to run back into that drain and then run away. That drain actually goes down and through the concrete and discharges underneath, so that we won't have a water problem when it rains. So he's just finishing off the screeding using his trowel, obviously because it's a long screed, so as it slopes down, the trowel just finishes that little curve to the drain. And now you'll see how he uses that screed. We'll move the big screed out of the way. The little one is just using the solid concrete on the left, which is the old concrete, and the bit that he's got level against the wall. And he'll just slowly work it back, making sure everything is filled. If he needs a little bit more concrete, he'll go get it from the wheelbarrow, fill in any holes, work his way back, and he'll have a relatively smooth finish on top. Now there will still be probably some little bubbles in it. When I say little bubbles, little cavities, but you'll see once he's worked his way back, that's when he'll get out the trowel and he'll trowel in the concrete cement, and the paste will start to fill in all those little holes, so that'll give you a really nice smooth finish. So here he goes with the trowel, making sure there's no holes in the top. He's joining the two concretes well, so he's really going to work that nicely. And once that's done, he'll probably let it dry for a little while, and he'll come back, he'll do his expansion joints as well, and he'll probably trowel it again to make sure. Here he is just filling in any little holes, and he'll just work it in with the trowel. Now I couldn't hang around to see it to the finish. I had to go off to another job, but he'll do this, and what I'll do is I will return after a couple of days and I'll show you exactly how it was finished off. In the meantime, enjoy watching him, and while you're doing that, it's probably a nice time to subscribe. So there he is, all finished. He's just been trailed off to look nice and smooth. That's because this concrete has had a finish put on it, so when they redo the concrete, we'll go across all of them and do a new finish to it. There's your little expansion joints so that the concrete won't crack, and all we've got to do now is drop the formwork and plaster the wall. If you like this, please subscribe, otherwise I will catch you on the next video.